Okay. Well, fifth disconnect in 3 days. I just got off the phone with my internet people, Spectrum, and apparently it's something between my modem and my router. So, yay for internet troubles. Oh man, it's always a big pain. Always a big pain when that stuff happens. I might have to replace cables or replace a router or something. All this equipment is from Spectrum Internet. If only I could have fiber. If only I could have fiber, not have to deal with. Although I guess if it's a router problem, I probably would have to deal with something like this. But anyway, we are back. I want to get back to work. Back to streaming. If I disconnect again, I might have to call it a day and try to do some like go get a new cable or something and see if it's just the cable between my modem and my router or something. You work from home too, internet outages cost money. I know, man, it does. It costs, for me, it costs stream time and
oxygen reserves are low.
Work time, because now for any YouTube videos I want to upload, I have to spend about 3 hours editing stuff because of how much time it takes to do video rendering. Video rendering takes frickin' forever, man. And of course I stream at 1080p, so it's not surprising that it would take so much time, but it's way easier when I could just clip it on Twitch and then what's the word? Export it. So anytime I get a disconnect and I have to download it and do a bunch of video editing, oh, it takes hours. It's such a pain. But oh well, oh well. If I get a second disconnect again, I think I am going to stop the stream for at least part of the day to go get a new wire to see if it's a wire issue. So, all right. So is this all? This piece is disconnected. Talking about blue collar work, man. Although what I'm doing is fake blue collar work, of course. For this game, can you maybe not do the editing and just upload separate clips? I could, but it'd be like a 30-minute video, then an hour and a half video and stuff. Maybe I'll do that because it's not as important for it's more important for like FTL runs where I want to have a complete run as a video. So probably for this, it probably would be no big deal to do it that way. And that might be what I do, and just have more videos that are just infrequent lengths, which is annoying, but it would save me hours of work. So that's probably a good idea. Probably what I end up doing. The problem is if this issue doesn't get resolved, then I will have to do editing once I get disconnects during my my FTL streams, which would be the biggest pain. Anyway, back to the grind. Back to the cut and grind. Oh, wow, that cut didn't quite go where I expected it to. Okay. All right, so this is all furnace, I think. And I think I just disconnected it. Is that good? That looks good. Is there a door on the back of this thing, or is this all furnace? It's aluminum panel. I think that looks all clear. All right, time to cut all these things out. The biggest annoyance for me is just anytime there's an issue caused by something I have no control over. That's the most frustrating thing to me. And things like your internet disconnecting is usually stuff that you have no control over. Whoa, I did not mean to cut there. If it's an actual cable, that is something I can do something about. But if it's an actual connection issue because of, you know, internet company issues, that's always a pain because there's literally nothing I can do except call them and get somebody to either come work on it or them replace the equipment that they've, you know, that I've rent from them or whatever. Okay, I cut that one. Did I cut this one? I cut that one. I think there's one more on the bottom, right? I get all these? Nope, this one I haven't gotten. I'm guessing since COVID, there's a lot more people who work from home, which probably means internet companies have a lot more issues like that they have to deal with, I would guess. Whoops. No, I didn't even know that button did that. I'm guessing since the COVID era, been a lot more working from home. People require more internet support and stuff.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred. Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
And get it. All right, so we got these clamps.
Salvage
Clamps.
accepted. Credits transferred.
We'll get O2N fuel once we finish these things, probably.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Do-do-do-do. I love the music in this game, though. I really do feel like they've gotten the blue-collar worker vibe pretty down pat, honestly. When they rolled out fiber to your neighborhood in Carrollton, you jumped on it, not because it was cheaper, but because you can now switch every year or so and keep them on their toes. I thought you said you didn't have fiber. I feel like the next time I move, that's going to be one of the requirements of the place that I move to. Whether I get an apartment or another apartment or something else, I think internet availability might actually be one of the
Warning. Fuel levels are critical.
major things that I'll take into consideration about if it's a place I can move. Because if I'm forced to keep using crappy cable, it just makes streaming way less consistent with the signal. Although, honestly, my signal's not been that bad. It's just every once in a while, something I can't control. And I feel like fiber is way more, basically faster and consistent.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Good internet is my job. It's not like I have a commute or need good schools in my area, right? And that's just one of the important things. You jumped on fiber as soon as it became available. It's also one of the reasons you live 45 minutes from your dental school. You live that far away just to have fiber internet? Nice. I think that will work. And then this piece will be processor once that sneakifies out of there. Okay, that looks good. Is there anything else that is pressurized? Yes. This cabin inside and that airlock is pressurized. I think now I can, whoops, depressurize it here if I can, since I disconnected that thing. Although I removed that. I removed that thing. Okay, let's see if I can fix that. Hopefully with the panel in here I can fix that.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Alright,
Raw
okay,
material
cool.
processed. Credits deposited.
So that is now depressurized. I think there was a cabin that said was pressurized. Yes, this cabin right here is pressurized. Can I depressurize it here? Uh-oh, that's going to be explosive decompression. Okay. Alright. I think it's okay. I think we're okay. So now, so if it's red, I think that means that's good for us. I think that's what I want. I want it to be red. And I want to remove this back panel. So in order to do that, detach this. Detach this. And I believe there's a side room. I'm actually just going to cut this door out, I think. This is all depressurized out here. If I cut this door out, yeah, I can go do a bunch of cutting in here. Good internet is your job, yeah. Is there a penalty for explosively decompressing? It can, if stuff gets thrown out, it can damage stuff. I haven't experienced explosive decompression hurting anything yet, so you got burned hard by Spectrum and you didn't feel like choosing between them and Cox, and you could just use Allo, which is all fiber and has better customer service. You also didn't want to try to find a nicer neighborhood in Omaha. There's a whole thing in the US about how companies refuse to roll out fiber for a long time because they can charge the same for cable, so why bother? Yeah. Well, problem for me, my issue is just, it's a simple one. I live in an apartment complex and don't have a choice. I've asked about getting other internet cable companies, and every time I do, the apartment complex says it's up to the cable company, and the cable company says it's up to the apartment complex. So it's like one of those things where they just keep pushing it on the other person. It would cost money for them to set up the infrastructure, so the companies aren't going to do it for an apartment complex. For apartment complex, it's probably way more complicated to set it up too, because you got to set up for, you know, not every person in every apartment is going to use the same company, so it's probably way more complicated for apartment complex. So I guess that's just what I get for not having enough money to live in an actual house or something. I think there was a data drive in that room I was in. Oh, I'm sure there's lots of things I need to get. I will try to get it. I think I saw what you're talking about. I'm just not picking up anything right now as I go around cutting everything. Gotta get to cutting. I guess data drives are important because they're what, story stuff? Okay. Let me finish cutting before I look for stuff I need to pick up. It's easier to navigate around the wreck if I'm cutting stuff. If everything's detached. Okay. Alright, I think I've detached most stuff in here. So it sounds like a good segue into plugging tier 3 subs. If you want me to be able to afford fiber internet and never have disconnects, all you gotta do is support me with your tier 3 sub. No. Yeah, tier 3 subs they're expensive, man. I think Shogi is the only one who's actually doing that. And maybe Ren or Nietzsche, somebody else might have done something like that. There's like only a couple people, and that is extremely above and beyond, and I would never expect anyone to do that. Really, what I would need to move into a place is to get, you know, either married, a partner to live with, or a roommate or something. And
Warning, tethers depleted.
none of those things I think are going to be happening anytime soon, so sadly. Random thought, Ash thinks there would be some sort of legislation to force people to have life support in O2 free of charge. Life isn't supposed to be at a premium after all. One simple trick to eliminating RAN internet outages. Landlords hate this one simple trick. That's right.
Secured. Credits deposited.
Alright, I am
Warning,
low on O2,
oxygen reserves are
and I'm
critical.
out of tethers, so let's go this way. Landlords hate this. Your bank account hates this one simple trick of giving me all your money. Oh, I put something in the wrong place. Whoops. Damn.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
485 kilograms. Is that a lot of what I destroyed? I'm not actually sure. I don't see very much red, so it doesn't look like a big deal, whatever I just chunked out there. You know, a Russian website that can fix you up with a roommate if you need one. Oh. I missed the light. Darn. Tried to grab onto that light. Didn't quite have the skills that time. Destroyed a tiny little light. Yeah, so all I need to do is, you know, purchase a bride. Furnace is hungry. That's a half a ton, 485 kilograms. I swear these things sometimes... These tethers need to be... They need to work with those a little bit. Because I went like this, and it ended up tethering to itself. I don't quite understand how that happened, but whatever. Wrong hole, giggity. Giggity, giggity, goo. Yeah, that's not the... Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I ordered one of those brides, I don't know that I would get much help paying for anything. So, I feel like that might not be a good, good route. I was like, all right, I ordered you. You gotta get a job. You gotta get a job. I didn't pay for you to laze around the house all day. Get to work. I don't think that's how those websites work. I don't think. Not that I have experience with them or anything. Well, whatever I've destroyed has been a small enough amount that I can't even see any red yet on the bar over there. A quarter of a Tesla. Is that tonnage you were talking about? 1/4 of a Tesla? Right, I'm going to not worry about those little tiny lights. I know I got some of them earlier, but I'm not trying to 100% this thing. I'll get these bigger lights because I feel like they might be worth something. But those little tiny lights, don't even care. I kind of want to cut off this back panel. And is there a piece that I can cut off for this? V. Really? I can't even cut this out without it overheating? Well, screw it. Is that a whole... I feel like that's a whole panel. Alright, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just cut this. Cut this out this way. Pretty sure I already disconnected this from the pieces that would keep it in there. Hopefully this will work. Nope, it's still connected to something. Okay, is it this? Nope, I did disconnect that. I disconnected that. Is it that table? No, it's not that. Tell me it's not a light that's considered connecting that. Okay, what is keeping this connected in here? I don't know why this won't move. Frickin' hell. Is it fabric? You think it's fabric? Maybe it's fabric. I couldn't see the fabric through the hole. Is that it? There it is. Okay. Yes, fabric, when connected to something,
Your oxygen reserves are low.
makes it
No
literally
carbon dioxide
an
can
immovable
cause
object.
damage to links
I know from real life.
Material deposited.
So that's totally true. Totally to be expected. Fabric never tears or anything. That's a little light that is flying through the galaxy. That light's just gonna fly around forever, I don't care. Oh, okay, there it is, now I care. I disconnected those lights. Alright, let's go get O2 so we don't die. I guess I want to not die. It's a game, not real life, I know. I know. I understand that.
Oxygen level
Alright, we'll
stabilizing.
get tethers. It doesn't mean I can't make fun of this video game that has goofy stuff. That's what you do, right? You make fun of goofy stuff in video games. Kinda what we do here. Whine about stuff, get salty about it, and then keep playing the game anyway. Like, that's stupid, but I'm gonna keep playing anyway. It shouldn't do that, but there's nothing I can do about it. Oh.
Salvage secured.
Okay.
Account credit applied.
Okay, if I pulled that out too quickly, giggity, that's when it, like, explodes and becomes trash, I think.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Game hits pretty close to home, though. Which part? The part where fabric is literally unterrible? The most indestructible object in the galaxy is a roll of fabric. Need some of this indestructible, immovable fabric so you can stop having to buy your kids a new pair of shoes every 2 months. Yeah.
Secured.
That's right.
Deposited.
Alright, what I'm going to do is get to level 3. As soon as I get to level 3, we'll call it good here. We're
Salvage
getting
deposit
close.
accepted. Credits transferred.
Do I care about the door? You know what? I think I'm going to not care about the door in the wall because there's no way a couple of doors screw me out of what I need to get. Here's the data drive. Nice. And even those lights and things, I think I'm going to be a little more... Oh, crap, I'm not going to be able to get that out of here, am I? I'm going to be a little less finicky about the little tiny stuff, because if I get the big stuff, I think we'll be good for hitting our milestone or whatever. Okay, so that is processor. Should be good on barge. Grapple damaged, okay.
Salvage secured.
I haven't heard of the load-bearing lights yet. I don't know if I have. Load-bearing lights. Oh, I have heard of those, yes.
Valuable
Somebody told me about them. I don't think I've seen any of those yet. That's why I was actually disconnecting those little tiny lights earlier, wondering if it was something like that. There we go. Gotcha. Okay, this is... Okay, I need to disconnect this, and then I'm going to send that all to the furnace, even though I know there's a couple doors that...
Credits deposited.
Well, actually, here's a question. Are doors inside aluminum frames worth more than the aluminum frames themselves? If it is a large aluminum frame, how big of an aluminum frame would it need to be for the frame to be worth more than door? Because I'm pretty sure aluminum is almost always worth less than... Doors are worth less now? Are they worth less or are they worthless? This game has some really weird quirks. You can pull a 15-ton chunk of hull by hooking a loose piece of debris onto it and tether that into the furnace of a processor. Load-bearing lights are on geckos. They've gotten rid of most of them, but you think one or two variants still have them. You suggest I don't bother with doors? Okay. I like the idea of not bothering with doors just because of the time-saving nature of not having to deal with doors. This is all barge. Up there. so I'm not going to care about those lights.
Accepted for processing.
It's basically all furnace except for the lights, and I will get... I don't know how much these little switches are worth, but I feel like they're worth something. Consoles feel like they're worth the time of actually doing that when there's one or two of them. When I'll have 4 of these little annoying lights to get. Doors $45 a kilogram, like 20 kilograms in total. Yeah, seems like it's worth ignoring in the grand scheme of things here. Little doors are worth about as much as a light. The big doors are worth more. Big doors. Do I know what a big door is? Okay. Whoops. The ones that lead to the cockpit. Okay. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. So is this all processor? I think this is basically all processor here. This part's processor. This titanium is processor.
Reminder, asphyxiation can lead to missed
Okay.
salvage quotas.
I think this is all just good to go in here. This. Tether again. Tether that. Tether that. Use up all my tethers to get this to go.
Processing valuable
Get in there. I know you can.
Awarded. Ship
There we go. We got it.
credits applied to cutter account.
Oxygen reserves are critical. Affordable oxygen supplies are available for purchase at the
I do want to
master
let
jet.
those finish going in there, though, if they can. It's probably worth the money to wait for that. Do I have to get O2 to wait for it is the question. I might need to. Come on. Oh god, do I have to get O2? Jeez.
Object accepted for process. Oxygen level credit deposited.
Alright, I think I had to do that. I've never actually let my O2 completely run out, so I don't know how long it takes for you to like die or whatever, so. Okay, good. GG cookie time, our first complete salvage of the day. We'll have a cookie to celebrate. If you're really tight on the salvage, doors are worth getting. Especially the doors closed, but if they have to dig it out, you don't bother. You only bother with the doors. You can just pull out. As soon as you have to cut them out, you don't bother. Takes about 40 seconds to die with full health. Okay, cool. Well, I honestly destroyed very little. Looks like just the structure aluminum cost me a bit, but 5.6 million, not too bad. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna get to rate 11. If that much of a thing only gets me halfway up. I swear the ranking up feels really slow in this game. But maybe that's on purpose because there's not a ton of content since this game's still early access. Alright, let's see what store we got here. Device name Ray Hubs. Proud Cook. Hello, stranger. I can say that because I'm pretty sure whoever finds this... you won't know me. I left Earth. Didn't I already read this one? Be kind. Just be kind. I read this one already. What about this? I'm pretty sure I read that one already. Only been vaxxed once. Okay, maybe that's the new one. Okay, I don't care too much about. Again, story is not why I play games, so let's just go right on. Let's. I do need to repair my stuff though. Because apparently if it gets below 75%, that's when you start having issues. So I could get the overheat cooldown, or I could save up for the push force. I think I actually want overheat cooldown more than the push force. The push force is nice, but the cooldown thing is pretty helpful to... Does that mean it can go higher before it needs to be, before it overheats, hopefully? Hopefully that's what that means. Actually, I don't know that... I think that's just the cooldown for when it overheats. That might have actually not been that useful. Most of the emails are kind of boring. Just flavor text, you're not missing anything. Links bad, future dystopia, yada yada, yeah. Next update will contain Act 2 of the story. That's just how fast it'll cool down. Okay, well, I guess after... that's still not bad. It's not super useless. Not completely useless, I would say. Oh, this is what I should have done. O2 capacity. Oh, dang, I didn't realize... Why did I not have this unlocked earlier? Okay, well, this is 100% what we got to get next. Larger O2 tank, so... Help me remember, after our next salvage, we need to do that. Suit integrity is fine, but it's O2 is the biggest thing. Okay. So, hopefully, the next salvage will give us plenty to do that. Well, let's see. 6.3 million. Yeah, definitely another... It's definitely these javelins that are giving us the most. Okay. The only halfway interesting flavor text email things are about the machine gods and AI stuff. Ho ho ho! Machine gods, yeah, we need to read about those guys. Okay. I might need to buy some more repair kits. I think you buy the repair kits here, right?
Welcome to Vendatron
Yeah.
9000.
I'm gonna buy one right now.
Have a nice day.
Because I am kind of using these for my tools. Kind of ridiculous that you have to repair them at 75%, but, you know, they gotta have more excuses to make you spend your money, I guess. More excuses to get in debt. Alright, let's use two of these and hope that'll be enough to get that down. Strangely, the only place to buy repair kits that you use only indoors is a terminal in the vacuum of space. Yeah. Another funkified thing in this. It's like, if I need to repair in my base, why can't I buy repair kits in my base? Seems like a strange design decision, but okay.
Salvage deposit accepted.
It's like they need a reason for you to use that kiosk more, I guess. Alright, looks like the two tethers were enough there. One of these days I'm going to miss a piece that's on here that doesn't need to go in the barge. But 'tis not this day. Sounds like college tuition. Of course, you spend $500,000 in rent to go out and use the shop. You don't have to repair them. The tools lose some efficiency. Grapple loses weight limit. Cutter loses heat capacity. Thrusters lose speed. Yes, you don't have to do that, but if you want your tools to not be... I need to not do this yet because of the airlock. You don't have to, but you kind of have to. Okay, so this should allow me to... Like, you can go at not peak efficiency, but why would you ever choose to do that? Alright, so now we should be depressurized in here. Let's see here. Right? Depressurized. Looks like we're good. So we cut this wall off. Some of that is early access randomness. They just That's just where the feature was first implemented. They're eventually going to make the hab a 3D space, you think?
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Okay. And I could probably just let you float that way and you'll get there eventually, but let's go like that. That'll do it. Grapple also sometimes gets a chance to just let go of what you're pulling. You only got it a couple of times though.
Valuable object.
Still sounds pretty annoying though.
Credits deposited.
It seems like I should just not ever let it get below 75%. If I can, well, I mean, every time it gets below 75% or about 80% between things, I should just repair it, is what it sounds like. I mean, money is kind of fake in this game. I mean, since you're in 1.2 billion debt, I mean,
Salvage
it's
deposited.
just an achievement to get out of debt. It doesn't actually change anything, right? I mean, maybe you get an achievement or a sticker for it, but apart from a sticker, not like you win the game once you get out of debt or anything, right? I don't know.
Secured. Credits deposited.
It's a gaming illusory construct. I don't know. Okay, this is all furnace. Not mistaken. Yeah, it's kind of like bragging rights, yeah, kind of thing. Other streamers you've seen, let them get down to 25%. You get a green name on the game Discord. Okay. Highly available space posters must be good. Resale market for those. Well, there is a sticker for getting, I think, 100 of those or something. You would like a rare collectible poster mechanic. Okay. Speaking of rare collectibles, look at this. A random food pack underneath. Whose kids keep doing that? Alright, so I think this is good to disconnect
Raw
here.
material processed. Credits deposited.
Seems good. Should be good for all processor unless there's something in there. There's a door inside of there doors that inside of there. I don't think I care. And even if there's a door, it's processor, so I think it's fine to do that. Oops. Okay, so that's good. Let's work on the back side now.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are
Once
low.
you have the equipment more upgraded, you'll care less about losing efficiency on things. You'll notice a lot less because the starting stats will be so much better. Space Doritos and Space Pepsi.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I do need fuel and O2, but let me cut this out first. See if I feel a noticeable difference to my
Salvage
cooldown.
secured.
Oh yeah, that is a lot
Applied.
faster. Okay.
Warning.
That.
Oxygen reserves are critical.
This. Oh,
Warning. Fuel levels are low.
alright. Letting myself get lower and lower here. Come on. Come on, break.
Object
Man, if only I'd gotten the auction thing last time. That would have been really nice.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
When you upgrade your tools, lower durability loss, it's much better. Can't wait for some Space Crystal Pepsi. All right. Crystal Pepsi. That was the clear one, right? Never had that one. It always looked like, why would I want clear Pepsi when I could just have like Sprite, which I don't like? Why would I just not have regular Pepsi when Pepsi was my favorite soda back when I used to drink
credits
sodas?
deposited.
Okay. I probably should have got tethers, but oh well.
Caution. Tether supplies running low.
Looking forward to finding a big space big maca. Is that a drink?
Object processed. Credits awarded.
I don't think I've heard of that one. Space big maca. Oh, Big Mac. Oh, Space Big Mac. Gotcha. Is that one of those Mexican drinks you can get at the store that I never see? The Big Maca. I remember when I worked at Walmart for a few years in the grocery section, and there were always the like the Mexican drinks that were like, you know, this is cactus flavor and all these other tamarind or something. I was like, I don't even know what that is. Some sort of fruit? Don't even know what that is, but apparently it's the preferred flavor of some people, I guess. Like, I don't know what a tamarind is, but apparently you can get drinks in that flavor. Hey, what's up, Jay Lewis? How are you doing? So short-lived, it's probably an urban legend. What, the crystal Pepsi? Okay. What's this one? Alright, a lot of things floating loose now. Okay, I'm not going to cut the airlocks out yet because I don't know what's pressurized, but all that is pretty good. Okay. Don't see any lights on you. Oh, okay. Cactus can be pretty tasty. There's a few edible ones that are good. Paddle cactus is your favorite. Turn my light on. Thank you. I wish it would just be on. I mean, why would you ever want your flashlight not on since power is not an issue? I got 2 more tethers. Any lights in there? I don't see any lights. So after I finished playing this game, I've been thinking about what I want to play next, and somebody suggested the new Orcs Must Die. Orcs Must Die 3 came out. So I might just have to give that a play. That's a game I haven't played. Orcs Must Die, you know, 1 and 2 I played years ago, and I always really enjoyed those games. So I might just have to get a little Orcs Must Die action going on in the next week or 2 here. They could charge you for space batteries. They could. They definitely could. I need tethers. Let's go get O2 and tethers, even though my O2 is not that low. Well, I'm going to cut some stuff out. Okay, this airlock needs to be pressurized.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
And I will cut this door out. Put a game called Out There Omega Edition on my list for future reference. Fantastic space roguelike. Out There Omega Edition, is it an early access or not? Because if you, the best way for you to remind me about that is if you actually send me a whisper on Twitch, whisper private message, whatever it's called, with just the game name. Because then after stream, I always check my messages and I can check it out on Steam. It's been out a while. It's on Steam. Okay, cool. Yeah. Can you send me a private message on Twitch, just with that name, so I can look it up later? I'd like to check it out. I always like to check out game suggestions. I feel like if Ramses were here, Ramsey would tell me about a game that he suggested that I keep forgetting about, or that I have that I just haven't played. There's just sometimes lose track. Looks a bit like FTL from the screenshots. Honestly, I don't know if I want to play more games that are like FTL since I play so much FTL, but you know, it's always worth checking out. I've yet to play a game that's an FTL-like that I'm like, oh, good. This is... I should play this instead of or in addition to FTL. I mean, seriously, no game has ever come close to doing what FTL does as well as FTL does, in my opinion anyway, so... You're always like, oh, this is a nice diversion for a week or so, and then it's like, okay, just not as good as FTL. What? See, why did it do that? Why is that tether doing that? They have some bugs to work out with their tethers, I swear.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
I see a light. Can I get it? Ha! That is my special skill, getting lights from really far away.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Great. The new Rimworld DLC is awesome. Will I play it?
Salvage secured. Counter supplied.
Honestly, probably not. Rimworld's not my favorite game.
Valuable object.
Rimworld to me is it's fun, and I understand why some people enjoy it, and I liked that I've checked it out. It's just too punishing to me. It's too punishing and micromanagey to me. I know I play live auction not included, and that's micromanagey, but every time I've played Rimworld, I get raided, you know, 2 or 3 hours into the game and then just die, and I'm like, why did I spend those 2 hours when my colony's now dead because I got raided? To get my fix for Rimworld-like games, I like to play auction not included and like Satisfactory and stuff. I like, in the automation colony builder games, I prefer less combat. I think must be my thing. And auction not included has like no combat, so that's probably why I like that one. And Satisfactory, you get to choose when you do the combat. It's not like on a timer where it just happens every once in a while and you have to stop everything you're doing building to go fight off this raid or whatever. I think that might be what it is. And why even Factorio sometimes gets annoying to me, because you can get like the automated defenses and stuff, but sometimes you have to stop everything you're doing to deal with, you know, aliens. Or bugs or whatever they're called in that one.
No credit applied.
So,
Caution. Tethers
wait until I run into ghost tethers. You can't remember how to do whispers. If you go to the top of the Twitch page, you should see a little chat bubble. Just make sure you're not on full screen. Unless you're, well, can you do, unless you're on mobile. If you're on mobile, sometimes it can be a pain.
Object accepted for processing.
You might have to be not on mobile
Deposited.
to do private messages. Alright, so we need to do this. 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 And now, can I punch out this wall? I think I have to actually cut this out, if I'm not mistaken. There means you could imagine some robot going about their day when suddenly light comes down and tears right through it. What? I think there's a mod for Rimworld that has time-based raids instead, giving you time to set up things properly. Yeah, but I don't want it to be time-based. I want it to be, I fight when I want to fight, not, oh, the game is forcing me to fight again. You know? What am I doing here? V. If I'm doing a building game, I don't want my building to be stopped because... Okay, that's not... Did that work? Hey, there, that worked. Okay, good. I want it to be because I choose to fight, not because, okay, game has decided it's time for me to stop doing what I want to do.
Deposit accepted.
Breaking hearts and ships in the same stream. What's up, Plunder Pig? You play too many modded things. Well, I play Dwarf Fortress when it's out on Steam with a new UI. That is a game that I've heard a lot of people talk about. That's like the original colony sim game, right? I'm not sure if I will, but I definitely need to check it out. At least to look at it to see if I want to play it. Because one thing that can really bug me about games is bad UIs, and that's what I've heard is the thing that stops a lot of people from playing that game is the ridiculously horrendous UI of the game. So if there's a new UI that makes it less bad, maybe. So my answer is maybe. No guarantees, but maybe. Briefing from the game is not allowed in the stream. Why would you add a new UI to the Dwarf Fortress? The charm I hear is from the incomprehensible
Please contact
UI.
your plan administrator to add asphyxiation coverage.
You sound like Cthulhu. Its charm is the fact that it's unplayable. Why would that be charming? Because if you don't have that charm, then you're not a hardcore gamer or something.
Material deposited.
The charm is in saying, back in my day, it was, you couldn't even move a unit without also, you know, moving 20 other things around it. Real gamers, I heard of that. I heard of that music group before anybody else. I knew about them way back when. I'm the original OG fan, not you people. Now that you think about it, Save Our Ship 2 is literally just RimWorld in space, and there's a piece of machinery called a cloaking device, allowing for fighting whenever you want. Okay, checked out the Pure Text Dwarf Fortress years ago, couldn't handle it. Has a high bar for entry. You play D&D without a UI. Check and mate. I don't play D&D without a UI, but okay. Or at least I haven't for a month or so. That's honestly one reason I don't play much D&D. I talked about this yesterday. One of them is the amount of time you have to put into it. The other is...
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit.
Oh my god, when you have to upgrade your character and you have this sheet with pages and pages of things you have to do. Oh man, that is... When I upgraded my bard and I had to look through 200 spells and choose one to be the spell I get for my next level, it's like, oh my god. Why do I have to spend 2 hours just to level up to level 5 or something?
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I would not say that's a good thing about it. You gotta get work done? Alright, we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for your lurkage. Alright, I don't care about you, Pepsi. I don't care about Space Pepsi. There's doors. I do care about this. Alright, I think all this can go in the furnace now. All I gotta do is disconnect it by these little bars here. I hope I unlock a new ship type soon, because these javelins are getting a little samey here. I'd like to unlock the charges or whatever, but having to dismantle like 8 different javelins to unlock the next type of ship. I think somebody... Aren't they coming up with new ship types soon or something? I feel like I heard that recently. Maybe I'll have to take a break until the next ship type comes out once I get the... once I do a couple of the, whatever the next one's called. Next type is called the... I forget. Something. D&D spellcasters get annoying for new players due to the number of spells available. Yeah. Well, I'm definitely a new D&D player, so my complaints are probably to people who play a lot of D&D, but that's the fun part. Yeah. Okay, I guess I haven't gotten too used to the fun part of D&D yet. Okay. Is there one on there? There's not. Just on the other side. Okay. I've just played video games for too long to be as die-hard, hardcore D&D fan, probably.
Raw material.
And
Credits deposited.
I talked to Shogi and stuff on WoW about this at one point, but my entry point into tabletop RPGs was me and my little brother when we were in our teens, probably middle school, high school age. Our older brother said, we should play Lord of the Rings tabletop RPG, and I'll be the DM. And our older brother is not a good DM. He was terrible. We would try to do things like, okay, first thing we're supposed to do is to get into this inn and break in to steal something. So, all right, I'm going to try to pick this lock. Your skill's not high enough. You can't do it. Okay. Well, then I guess I'll try to, you know, sneak in the window. Your sneak's not high enough. You can't do that. So, like, everything we tried to do, he would just say, you can't do that. I was like, well, this isn't fun. I can't do anything. Well, you're not doing the right thing. So, it's like, well, apparently we don't know how to play D&D, so it's not fun. Okay, how does... I had this last time, the problem with this last time. These things wouldn't move. I've cut everything, right?
Oxygen reserves are low. Reminder,
I cut the
asphyxiation
clamps.
will lead to missed salvage quotas.
I feel like these bug out or something. Because those clamps should come loose. I know how those clamps work, and I've cut them all out. And they're not moving. Last time it was just a timing thing. I think I just had to wait. So I guess I'll go get oxygen while I wait. For hopefully these things to disconnect. A few variations of javelins coming. Then there's one new type of ship plus a few variations of that one too. Okay. That sounds awful. That said, being a DM is hard to do well. Where you have to try to get to, yes, you could do that with X, Y, and Z while wrangling cats. Yeah, well, my older brother is a very special kind of person. And by special, I mean annoying in a lot of ways. So, he, I don't think, has the right mindset to be an effective DM. Because now that I've seen people do it well, like Shogi, I enjoy his DMing style. My friend Doreen, when we play on this stream a couple times. I feel like something is wrong here. This is all disconnected, right? There's nothing I'm missing. There's... let me try to use a tether and see if that'll pull this thing off. Okay. So that worked. I think maybe I need to tether this to something to pull it off. To yoink it. Okay. Alright, I guess it's just too heavy for me to push off. I must not have enough Newton force, whatever.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Can I now push this around it, though? That kind of can be pushed, but not really. Okay, let's see if that'll work. The charge push will help with that once I unlock it. Okay. So another one of those. You need to unlock it. Oh god, it's going to bump. Is it going to bump? Okay, it didn't bump too bad. Okay, we're good. To give you another example of playing games with my older brother. So when I visited, I think it was 2 Christmases ago, I visited my older brother's house. He and his family live in New Mexico, and his big nerdy obsession has been Warhammer 30k, 20k, whatever it is, the fantasy thing where you...
Salvage destroyed. Please avoid damaging valuables.
Well, I just blew up that entire thing. Okay. There we go. Warhammer 40k, that's the one. Well, that's what I get for using this this beam. I guess the range upgrade just screwed me there. Alright, I gotta be careful now. Is that all furnace stuff now? God. I got distracted, tried to tell a story, and I blew it up. The clamps could still go in the barge, at least.
Material deposited.
Anyway, he likes the whole painting figurines thing for Warhammer 40k. So he got me into like doing a little bit of painting the figurines, and he's like, okay, we're going to play a game with the tabletop that use these figurines. And he kept forgetting about rules for a certain, like one of the undead class or something that would have let them get like an extra attack turn every time. Like for 3 rounds,
Salvage
my
deposit.
brother was playing one character where he was playing like the undead who was supposed to get an extra attack turn. He forgot about it. And so after he forgot about it, a couple turns goes, oh, you're supposed to be able to do this the entire time. He's like, okay, well, can I get the extra attacks now? And he's like, no, you just don't get them. I win. It's like, well, that's kind of BS and stupid, but you're the one running the game, so I guess we have no say in this matter. That's a bigger mess than a Mark II reactor explosion. Yeah, that's a lot of red we just got. A lot of red I just missed out on. Hopefully I can still hit the 3rd milestone. I gotta be careful to not miss out on anything else. The moral of the story, don't play tabletop games with my older brother unless you like losing. I wonder if the rest of the clamps went down there already.
Raw
Because there were
material
other
processed. Credits deposited.
clamps. Okay, that's the reactor that's already in there. You're a DM for 2 different games. It's a lot of yes and no, but you can, and F it, let's see what happens. Yeah. And that's the problem with my brother. He never does the whole, well, let's see what happens. It's just, no, you can't. No, you can't do that. And I feel like I got spoiled having played Shogi's game for so long, because Shogi never says you can't do that. He's just like, you can try. He's always like, you can try. You roll it and goes, oh, it didn't work.
Object
Or, well, that's weird. You tried and this happened, you know. So I like the flexibility of
salvage secured. Credits deposited.
how Shogi does it.
Salvage gained.
Makes you feel like you as a player are actually doing something and not just, you know, playing somebody else's version of what they think the game should be.
Oxygen reserves are low.
All right, well, almost out of oxygen, so let's just get a couple things out of here, and then we'll go get oxygen. I'm going to need to go in there and cut a bunch of stuff.
Salvage deposit accepted.
Tried, but you failed. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Now that would be a pretty hardcore DM right there.
Stabilizing.
It failed and everybody dies. Okay, game's over. It's like, then why did I spend 8 hours creating a character for this game? I hope you're dead. No fun. No more fun. Everybody's dead. Okay, game over. Alright, see you guys later. I definitely don't want a DM who does that. I win. Everybody's dead. The NPC that I'm controlling does 1 million damage. And you're all dead. And you never get to level up. And game's over. How's that for some DMing right there? You like to always let your players try things, or if you know it won't work for behind-the-screen reasons, you try to provide an alternative to keep things moving. As a DM, you cannot have the DM versus player mentality and have a good time. Yeah. Please don't cut that airlock. Good. Okay. Let's get all these outer ones first before I start messing with the airlocks. And I think that's the mentality my older brother has. Like, anytime he plays a game, whether he's DMing or not, his goal is, I'm going to win. And so, if that means as the DM, he wants to beat the player, then basically every time he says you can't do that, you know, it's just like, well, then I don't, this is not fun and I don't want to do this. And that be like kind of colored my experience of tabletops the first time, and
Warning. Fuel levels are
I've
low.
had some fun with
All supplies are available
the other
for
ones I've
purchase
done,
in
but
the
it's
master jack.
still is usually my preference is to just play a video game. I guess I'm more of a gamer than a tabletopper. A video gamer more than I am a RPer, maybe would be the correct thing to say. Okay, that's not a piece I can grab, alright.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
I think Tomb of Annihilation has traps in it that insta-kill you. Been that way since first, second edition. Literally has a hole in the wall in the entryway that vaporizes anything put into it, like the rogue's arm. Wow. That sounds scary.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Hope I missed a thing here. Whoops.
Caution.
I might be the point where I need to get all the little lights and everything here. Having blown up that furnace or fuel tank, whatever that was, I might be at the point where I need to get all the little lights. Because if I miss the milestone, that's a pretty big deal.
Valuable objects processed. Credits
Pretty sure
awarded.
missing the milestone is that's where you get a lot of your points or whatever, your tokens. It's funny how our expectations change between the genres. In a video game, we don't think twice about invisible walls, limited interactions, railroading, etc. In a tabletop game, those things cause player revolts. Honestly, I've been more picky about my games, the games I enjoy in like recent years, like since I've started streaming. Like, I enjoy games that force you into story a lot less since I've started streaming. Like, more and more I'm finding what makes an enjoyable game to me is good gameplay and interesting mechanics, and what makes a bad game is forced storytelling. I feel like I need to get these doors. Like, forced storytelling, just unskippable story that I don't care about and stuff like that is just, it drives me crazy in a lot of games. Like, I feel like I enjoyed Breath Edge a lot less than I would have if there wasn't, you know, this really annoying story I had to deal with the entire time.
Credits deposited.
I will not miss the lights, milestone if I spare the lights. If I spare the lights.
Object accepted for processing.
You want a game, not a hand crab movie. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying there. If I'm playing a game, I also want to experience the game, not, you know, play a character in somebody else's movie.
Are dropping below statistically profitable levels.
There are some, you know, games that are really well done with storytelling, and that's the main purpose of them. But I often don't enjoy playing those games, sadly. So, like, I think the Uncharted series is kind of like that. And a lot of the, like, what are those zombie games? What is that?
Welcome to Venditron 9000.
What was that popular A&E zombie series? Not Resident Evil. The one there's a TV show and there's games for it. Yeah, that like the Telltale series of games. Yeah, Walking Dead. I think there's Walking Dead games that are. I think there's a Walking Dead Telltale series of games. I think I played one of them and got immediately really bored because it's like, all right, you have to choose who to kill.
Salvage deposit.
Like, you mean I don't get to actually play the game or kill zombies? I just experience this goofy little story that there's no good ending? No
Processing
thanks.
valuable
I think I'll play a game where I get to actually shoot zombies with a gun and not have to kill this child because the game decided that was the important decision point of the story.
Salvage
Tur games.
deposit.
I don't like their tur games. Again, I'm not saying people who do like them shouldn't like them, but they're not my style of game. All right, so here I think I do want to cut these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the door. I'm not going to close the door because that doesn't work. Okay, cool. All right, I guess I'm going to cut the door out. I think it's probably worth doing just to make sure. The door's in the side panel, I think. And that eats up that whole corner section, right? And that door is still not out. Are you kidding me? Is this the one where it's connected to this other door?
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Let this door out. There it is. I'm being careful of this stuff because I blew up that one tank. I feel like that's put me behind in what I need. That door will not come out. What the hell is keeping this door in there? The hell? And this is why I don't want to mess with doors.
Material deposited.
Is there fabric on the other side? Indestructible fabric? I don't see any. There's a light. Is this a load-bearing light? No. We cut 5 panels up, down, and 3 of one side.
Salvage
How come the other one came out and this one didn't? Is it this little thing right here? Okay, now it moves. I tried to push on it and it wouldn't move.
valuable objects processed.
Okay, that cabin is pressurized, so this is gonna open it. Stuff is gonna fly out. Oh, we got another data drive. Sure. The other got out because I cut it. Did I? Oh, I guess I cut the actual door. Yeah. All right. I don't get what these fabric wall pieces are. Because these are on the ceiling. What are these? What are these pieces? They're just panels? Is there another fabric piece? Or okay, there's not. I'm a little bit confused about what those things are doing on the ceiling. What are you doing over there? They look like they should be seats that they can sit on. I guess in 0G, maybe they could sit on them. Soundproofing, insulation, yeah. You need some really good soundproofing in space. In the vacuum of space.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credit transferred.
Okay, don't mess up this computer. This is an important one. Don't crash. It's where those things fly around way too much.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Your oxygen reserves are low. Note that excess carbon dioxide...
In the vacuum of space, there's no air to get in the way of sound propagating. For astronauts not to bump their heads. Okay, I could see that. That makes sense. If that room is depressurized, although these inner rooms look like they
Salvage
are
secured.
probably going to usually be pressurized, but you can't expect that to always be the case in space, I would assume. There are going to be times when you're floating around in a room in 0G, so that makes sense. We'll call it head bump protection on indestructible fabric.
Warning. Oxygen reserves are critical.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
Oxygen level.
Pressurization does not equal gravity. Oh, okay. Well, my bad then. Also, how does one sit in a chair in space? Well, maybe... True. Good point. If this is pressurized but not gravitized, why is there a chair? I guess if it's connected to the ground, you could pull yourself. Why would you care about a chair in space, though, I guess?
Salvage secured.
You need to sit? Just floating around. Maybe you sleep sitting down? I don't know. How many times do you choose destructible X over indestructible X? I don't know what X means.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I mean, if it's fabric, I don't think I'd want it to be indestructible because then it wouldn't be very soft, right? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna get these lights, even though I feel like I probably would be okay not getting them. I'm still gonna get them anyway. Alright, is there anything on the other side of this? No, I can just cut this filter out. Push it down into the barge, I think. X means literally anything. Okay, in this game, it is scarily easily to depressurize a room. It's like one button push, everyone dies. You need to be strapped in the chair. If you're moving the ship, you won't be immune to inertia, though. So if you were doing some console work, you would want to be strapped to your console chair. Also, sitting or at least being in a known position is important for orbital maneuvers. Okay, cool. I'll take you all's word for it. I am, despite having played FTL a lot, can't say I am an experienced astronaut. Although I have played some Kerbal Space Program, so does that qualify me as an astronaut? Playing Kerbal Space Program? I'd guess probably not. Speaking of Kerbal Space Program, KSP2 is a game I'm really looking forward to.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
I'm really looking forward to KSP2 because it's made by, I think, a different developer, but has like the approval of the KSP folks to use a lot of their assets. And they're doing a lot of things that I wanted to be in KSP1, which was like resource management and creating bases on the planets that you explore. So that, to me, I think is going to be really cool.
Credits awarded.
You left the Expanse's portrayal of gravity, aka just accelerating. I've heard a lot of things about that. What was that, a show on Sci-Fi or Discovery or something? The Expanse being a really good, like one of the better science-y sci-fi things out there. For example, some Soviet cosmonauts had to manually deposit a craft because the computer didn't quite work. The act of moving from the cockpit to the seat they needed to sit in to deorbit caused the center of mass to shift enough that they ended up a couple kilometers off target. Okay.
For processing. Credits deposited.
All right. I'm gonna destroy the door. I'm just gonna destroy the door. I really don't want to mess with having to cut out another door. Cutting out the doors is a pain in the arse. I want to just cut it out with when the door is closed, but then you got depressurization issues, so. Okay. I think I'm just gonna chuck this all in the
Raw
furnace.
material processed.
Furnace.
Credits
Even though I think there's at least one door in there. And there are small lights out there. I'll grab a couple while you're going. Because, you know, why not? Okay. Call that good. What do we got in here? Bunch of stuff we need to cut. Doors aren't worth much, but the console's levers are worth a decent bit.
deposited.
All the little consoles I'm pulling off, then, you say are worth it? Okay. Cool. Not those little tiny lights, though. I don't think those are worth much, but...
Credits deposited.
Do. Alright, we should be good to take a break after finishing this one. Honestly, our timing, I mean, getting 2 of these done in 2 hours, especially when I'm offline for 20 minutes because of damn internet disconnects. I feel like making decent time on these things, getting a little quicker on these. Is that all processor 2? I think that's all processor 2.
Caution. Tether supplies are low. Oxygen reserves are critical. Please contact your plan administrator to add asphyxiation coverage.
Imagine your fat ass deorbiting a spacecraft. I have no idea what that means. Are you calling me fat? I'm not fat.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000. Thank you for your purchase.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Alright, let's see if these pieces give me... Hopefully this gives me the milestone. That was in response for Vega. Oh, okay. Come on, get over that threshold. GG! There it is. Beautiful. Alright.
Cutter account.
I will not cookie time because I'll have a granola bar time here as we take this break. So, beautiful. 2 javelins salvaged to the 3rd milestone. Not too shabby. Yeah, just barely. Exploding that, what was it? It was the fuel tank. 805 kilograms of fuel tank, and apparently I messed up some of the fuel clamps too. They must have exploded as well, so. But alright. Can't be perfect all the time. Just most of the time, you know? Even with 1 exploded tank. That's honestly probably pretty good that we were able to get that even with an exploded tank, so. Before we check our data recovery and what our upgrades and stuff, I am going to stand stretch, take my first break of the day. Thank you all so much for watching. If there's anybody new to the stream, hope you're having a good time. Hope you hit the follow. Quick 60-second stand-up stretch break and grab a snack. We come back, we will do some upgrades. Hopefully, we still haven't got to rank 9. Wow, 2 javelins and still no rank up. I'll be right back, my friends.